So we're rolling. Ollie, you ready? Good stuff. Hey, welcome back to the show, everyone. Let's try and capture Dave Mustaine's countdown to Extinction guitar tone using an EVH 5150 this time, and my Jackson King V fitted with the Seymour Duncan Thrash Factor pickups. I'm not sure if I'm right or not, but this album to me is like the biggest budget Megadeth album that they ever did, and it's really well done, and it's captured really nicely, and the guitars sound great, and the drums are thick, and everything about the album's kick-ass. It really is. For the gear that Dave and Marty had, it was really like the VHT and the rack mounts and the like a Century something, and the list goes on. They had much more gear that I've never seen or never heard of. I really figure when it comes to these videos, none of us have that same expensive gear that's used in the recording studios, and we just deal with what we have. And today I thought we'll mix it up and use the 5150 and see if we can get close, just like we did with the DSL. So using the same pedals that I always use, being a Boss NST in the 4-cable method in the front end and the effects loop. We've got a 10-band EQ just running through the effects loop, and a Zakk Wylde OD in the front end. And as for the OD pedal, don't think that you've got to go and buy the Zakk Wylde one because it's what I use or anything. They really are just so similar to each other. It's just the finest details that makes them all different. So whether you've got the Boss SD1 or a Maxon OD 808 or a TS9 or whatever, they're all so similar and they work the front end just the same. As an alternate to the DSL that you might want to think about, DSL's fantastic and it's got some great tones in it, but the 5150 can't be overlooked. A lot of you asked me to do comparisons, and I've written so many letters back and forth about what the differences are, which one I'd choose, and it really comes down to your personal preference with the tone that you want. And the 5150 has great tones in it. It's got the 3 channels respectively. It's got the green, the blue, and the red. It's got fantastic channel switching that is seamless, so that you can't even hear, there's no popping. A lot of you are complaining about that with the Mark series and the DSL. And to me, that seamless channel switching, that's a necessity for gigging. Like that's a huge one for me. If I was going to go out and play clubs, to have that seamless channels, I can actually do it on the fly and switch to my solos without hearing a disgusting pop. And that really is a big feature that I think is overlooked in amps these days. It's not a hard technology to do, and I'm sure it's not hard to incorporate into your amps. So to me, that's something that's a must. So straight away, I would go gigging with this amp. So as this is a smaller amp and it's designed to be at home and in small clubs or whatever, I think it should have a reverb control on it. That's something that it is lacking. I wish there was a switch, a high and low switch like the Marshalls do have, so you could run this on 10 watts or something. That would be perfect for the bedroom, because I find the 50 watts, it is a bit loud. It's something that, it's got a great tone at low volume, but it really doesn't start to sound good till you're above 1. And one's quite loud for a bedroom. I wouldn't recommend that for any apartment, really. As far as the guitar I'm using today, it's got the Seymour Duncan Thrash Factor pickups, and these are fantastic. They've got the Alnico 5 magnets in them, and they're very similar to the TB4 that's in the Rhodes behind me, but they're nastier. They're really gritty. I'd say the classic Seymour Duncan pickups used in this style of music for us, or for me, is the TB4s and the SH6 or the distortion pickups. And the distortions have the ceramic magnets, and the TB4s have the Alnico. I really prefer the Alnico magnet because you can really get in and make the guitar have a dynamic that you want it to have. When you hit the strings hard, the notes really pop out. Like, I think of the Alnico more as like a Marty Friedman style tone. The SH6 is very detailed. It's got a sharp attack, but I find it's just not as forgiving as the TB4s. It's all or nothing, and it's very aggressive pickup. So these thrash factors really do sit sort of half on the fence of both, I suppose. It's definitely an Alnico magnet, but you're getting into that SH6 territory, which is very cool, and I like it, and it's making these amps come to life. And this one in particular has just got that Megadeth sound. Even though I'm plugged into the 5150, I was amazed how tight it maintained and how raspy and nasty it sounded. So again, I'll just do a riff using the Thrash Factor pickups and just see how they compare to the TB4s and the Duncan Livewires, which is the Dave Mustaine Signatures, which is in the VMNT up the back there. And you can just see for yourselves the difference in the tone. You can hear they really are quite aggressive in comparison. I find they've got more attack and more bite than the Livewires, so that really says something. I just love these pickups. If you're after the technical data on these pickups, then there's more on the Seymour Duncan website, and I'll have links for that in the description. But really, the bridge pickup here is just based off the TB4 with a little bit more treble, a little bit less mids, and a tighter attack with less bass. And as for the neck pickup, it's based off Dave's 59 that he had in his Jackson back in the day. And so I'm not sure exactly what's been changed or altered in this 59 pickup, and I don't have any to compare. So running through the clean channel, there's a little bit of grit because I've just swapped from the blue to the green, and they share the same EQ. So there's a little bit of gain there. And that's still breaking up a bit, but we'll flick over to the neck, the 59. Bit of delay there. That's beautiful. That really is nice. It's a lovely sound. Yeah, I just felt compelled to play some Pink Floyd. I don't know why. I should be playing Megadeth. We're here. And we should be doing Countdown as well. So there you have it. There's a clean channel there. I don't ever really test that out much, but I thought some of you might have wanted to know how that sounds. We'll just cycle the OD in the front end on and off so you can see how things either tighten up or loosen up or whatever you need it to be. Here's a riff. And turning it off. And so the OD you can hear there really has a huge effect on the tone. There's nothing wrong with it when it's not there, but you can hear as soon as you turn it on, it's just going to punch through any mix that you need it to be on. And if you're in a band scenario, you're going to be heard with the OD in the front. So for capturing the recording today, it's just a really basic setup with the SM57 in front of the Mesorecto 112 with a V30 inside, and it's just off the dust cap, right on the grill cloth there. So you can see the mic position in the photos, and that's really basic, and that's just how I do it. And having the isolation cab over the top means I can turn this amp up to, it looks like it's about 1.5. I know it's still low volume, but it's quite loud in this room. It's a 50 watt. And all that being said, I really hope you enjoyed today having a discussion with Countdown to Extinction. It's a fantastic album. Massive Dave Mustaine fan. I'm really excited about the new album coming out. And something that I haven't really spoke about in these videos is for capturing the Dave Mustaine tone. A huge part of it is these .73 Dunlop picks. They're pretty light and they give an even strum across the strings because Dave often doesn't just hit one string at a time. He does a lot of backward strumming chords and rakes across a few. And if I use a heavier pick, it just doesn't sound right. It just sounds too aggressive and things. So this, you can still play aggressively, but it just seems to have that tone that is more Megadeth than anything. So every time I play Dave Mustaine riffs, I tend to use this pick and it just sounds better. I can sort of mold into that persona, if you will. All that being said, hope you have a great day, great weekend, and I'll see you next week with something else. Take care, everyone. Bye.